Hi, I'm Robert Borton, CEO of Classical Conversations, the world's largest classical Christian homeschooling community. I'm launching a new podcast, Refining Rhetoric. If you like cross-politics or just listen to hear what crazy stuff they're saying today, you will enjoy Refining Rhetoric. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform. I practice the 15 tools of learning by interviewing great guests, looking at current events, and talking about cryptocurrency.
It is the duty of the free man to resist tyranny at every turn. Every man will either watch his freedom stripped away or take action to protect what he loves. Introducing the A3, the newest revolutionary body armor from Armored Republic. The A3 is the new standard for lightweight multi-hit body armor. A3 plates are incredibly light at 4.6 pounds. The patented design captures fragmentation while remaining multi-hit capable. The A3 will stop up to M80 ball, yet comes in at only 0.7 inches thick. The A3 is the thinnest NIJ .06 compliant or certified composite standalone plate that includes the drop test. The A3 is the first of its kind, patent pending, that combines an alloy strike face with polyethylene backing, revolutionizing body armor technology by providing strength and durability while remaining sleek and maneuverable. The A3 is the new standard in lightweight body armor. The fight against tyranny just got stronger.
Hey y'all, welcome to Cross Politic on the Fight Laugh Feast Network. Pastor Toby Chalk Knox, the water boy. It is the 5th, not the 6th.
That's true.
So it's not Epiphany yet.
What? It's the 5th?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
I thought it was the 6th.
I thought
Yeah.
you were going to talk about, storming the Capitol building.
Oh, January 6th.
That happened?
On Epiphany.
Oh.
On Epiphany.
That's good.
Jesus is Lord in public and in private and
That's
in
right.
every area of life. So everything must be subject to the lordship of Jesus.
This is an ad. I love this ad already.
And our use of technology is no exception. What captures our attention on the screen either glorifies or dishonors our Lord. That's why Accountable to You, that's the word accountable, the number 2 in the word you, is committed to promoting biblical accountability in our families and churches. Their monitoring and reporting software makes transparency easy on all your devices, so you can say with the psalmist, I will not set anything worthless before my eyes. Guard against temptation with Accountable to You and live for God's glory. Learn more and try it for free today at accountable, the number 2, the word you.com/FLF.
Wait, hold on. So Epiphany is tomorrow.
Manana.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's even better. Because
This
I was
is-
going to
this
talk
is
about
12th night.
12th night? Oh, yeah.
You know 12th night?
No.
On the 12th day of Christmas.
But I thought those hit together. Don't 12th day of Christmas and Epiphany hit?
It's the next day.
Ah, okay. So I'm awful. I'm new to this Christian calendar thing.
12th
I'm
night,
learning.
12th day. It's
Oh, okay.
Epiphany
I got
Eve.
you.
This is Epiphany
I got you.
Eve.
yesterday
Yeah.
was Epiphany Adam.
Oh, here you go. Okay, so but this is better because so I'm getting into the Christian calendar and I was like, oh well, if Epiphany's today and we talk about Epiphany a little bit, then nobody's gonna really be able to celebrate it. But they can kind of have an ability to celebrate it since it's tomorrow if we talk about it today.
They can get ready.
So what is Epiphany and why do we celebrate it?
Well, I mean, depends on. I mean, different people do it differently, but basically,
Really?
yeah. I mean, it's so.
How do Baptists do it?
I don't know. There's the king's cake. You know about the king's cake?
No.
Where you hide coins in
Do
the
they have
cake,
ice cream,
and
too?
You bake it, and whoever gets the coin is the king for the day.
What if you break your teeth?
It's one of the it's one of the
No, that
risks you
sounds like a
take.
dentist made
It's like
that
playing
one up.
football.
That sounds like a dentist made that one up. I don't believe it.
But no, I mean, going way back. I mean, some people actually celebrated Christmas on Epiphany, but the word Epiphany means manifestation, and so the things that are associated with it, though, are the birth of Jesus, the coming of the Magi from the east, the light of God shining forth. The first miracles of Jesus are celebrated around that, and the baptism of Jesus.
And you have it primarily focused to the Gentiles, though, right? Like that's part of the.
Yeah, that's one of them. I think probably in the Western Church more of that. In the Eastern Church, they celebrate more of the baptism of Jesus and the revelation that Jesus is God, come in the flesh. But I think all of it, goes together.
So how do you celebrate it? And should you celebrate? I guess.
I think it. I think we should remember all of those stories. I think the thing that I like about the church calendar is sort of like a devotional guide that the church gave us. Sort of saying, don't forget to take time to read these stories, remember these stories. I like that. I also think that some people get kind of, Dungeons and Dragons, sort of with the church calendar and play dress ups and things. In a
LARPing?
Yeah. And I'm not into, church calendar LARPing. That's true. No, they do. And I'm like.
But then some people just throw the baby out the bathwater too.
No, be faithful. Love Jesus. Remember that he came. Remember that his, the light has come into the world. That he really did manifest God in the flesh. And the light has come, and so all the nations are coming, beginning with the Magi. Bring your gifts to him. He manifested himself and turning water into wine. He came and brought the wedding feast.
Yeah.
And God has declared him to be his son. Not only at his baptism, but now with the resurrection with power.
It's funny. This past year is the first year that I think I took the calendar far more Christian and took it seriously as this is a Christian calendar. Yeah. After Christ is raised from the dead, this all belongs to him.
AD. Hey, dizzle my nizzle for chisel, know?
Huh? Okay, yeah, that's not, no. Okay. Why don't you?
In some traditions, they actually give all their presents on Epiphany. That's actually,
I figured out.
I don't like that.
Well, hold on. The 12 days of Christmas, I was like, I'm not rich enough to do 12 days of Christmas.
For real. 12 drummers drumming?
I've had friends who will do a present. They'll do Christmas and then a present every day during Epiphany.
That 5 golden rings, I was like, I'm broke.
Yeah. I was broke at the figgy pudding.
There's no figgy pudding in the 12 days of Christmas.
All right, so Rand Paul, our boy Rand Paul. Oh, right. Idaho, breaking news in Idaho.
Time out.
Breaking
Rand got to
news
wait.
in Idaho.
Rand's going to wait. Breaking news, the Idaho Supreme Court upheld our abortion bans.
Which is awesome.
This is from Boise State Public Radio, Idaho's near total abortion ban. I like that. Near total abortion. Yeah. I'll take it.
I'm in.
We'll take it. We'll stand as the state Supreme Court rejected multiple challenges from Planned Parenthood and a local abortion provider. The only exception when a physician is allowed to perform an abortion under the law are in cases of rape, incest, or when a pregnancy threatens the life of the mother.
Pregnancy is not an exception.
So we've got our work to do still, and but it's pretty amazing. I heard earlier today actually that South Carolina, their Supreme Court struck down their 6-week ban.
That's incredible.
So South Carolina's Supreme Court just struck that down. I think today.
That shows you how conservative states have actually been going liberal in the judicial system for a long time.
Even this one was a split 3-2 decision. Idaho Supreme Court by only one vote. It looks like the newest member, Colleen Zahn, sided with Justice John Stegner. I remember that name.
Stegner.
They were both the 2 negative votes.
What are the restrictions
I have to look those judges up.
Were on the table, or what was the?
It's not fresh
we
in my mind.
We should get Blaine Gazzani to come on. I'd love to know how he feels right now.
But
we have there's both a heartbeat bill and a near. It's like a It's a 6-week ban or something like that.
Okay.
It's very but the only actually it's a ban on abortion is the other one.
Yeah.
With exceptions for rape, incest.
That was when that was originally in there before Roe v. Wade was passed.
That's right.
Yep. That's what I thought.
And
okay.
there was a trigger bill.
Law.
That was the trigger bill. So it and then
the heartbeat bill is the newer one. That's
on
right.
top of it.
Yep.
And the heartbeat bill is the one that has that Texas civil suit mechanism in it. And so there's actually 2 things in place, and they kind of sit over top of each other, and it's.
Did you see reports out of Texas that abortions have already gone down to 0 in the last couple months since the heartbeat bill went live?
I did see an article that popped out that said, "What are we going to do with all these new babies?"
Yeah,
and they're asking like, "What? We're not ready.
Disciple
we're not ready
them.
for this type of
Baptize
world
them.
with all these new kids."
We can begin by just thanking the Lord, though, for more grace and mercy, and giving us, I think, better than we really deserve.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
we deserve those 9-month laws. Is what we deserve.
Yeah, I mean, and so God's being merciful. He's staying. He's holding back the worst of our rebellion.
So do you think so? Is there what's next? Do you know what Blaine is thinking about? What his next moves are? I want to talk to him.
No, we got to have him on and talk to him. But
he
in
doesn't
the
sit
meantime,
way to go.
Look up IdahoFamily.org. That's the site for Idaho Family Policy Center, which Blaine Kazadi is the president of. I'm on the board. And if you want to give some kudos, hey, maybe give a donation.
That's right. Way to go, guys.
Sign up for monthly support. Blaine is up to he's up to no good again for this legislative session.
Every state needs a Blaine Kazadi.
He's got some help this year.
Yeah.
So Scott Hernan's down there. We got some people. Dan Foreman down there. Oh man, I've been texting my legislators because I know they're going down this week. Been telling them I've been praying for them and everything.
Good.
So
you guys should do that.
That's actually a really good idea. And also, I just got to say this. I'm holding back. I want to talk about what's going on in the House so bad.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Because we got the OG coming on to talk about
Tomorrow.
that.
McCarthy struck out 9 times.
Oh, it's 9. It was 8 the last time.
Yep.
They're going for 10.
Yep.
You know what? Okay, we're not going to talk about
as of recording.
I just want to.
Why are we going to hold off till tomorrow?
Because Steve Deace is going to be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he is probably going to have a heart attack on the show having this conversation.
I know.
And so if you don't come here for nothing else,
he's about to have a heart attack.
but this is amazing.
Did you see that Donald Trump finally got nominated to be Speaker of the House?
Yeah, I saw that.
Gates.
Yeah.
I love the Babylon Bee article. That said that Congress has highest approval ratings ever because nothing's getting done.
I know. And it's kind of really she's just been an article.
Yeah. Actually, it's true.
So come back tomorrow. Steve Deace will be here. We're going to talk about all of that because there's so much and it's still developing.
Okay.
So. Wait, the other Babylon Bee article.
No, you do this every time and it's not funny.
McCarthy warns not voting for him could delay more funding to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty
Yeah.
So good. Okay, we got a couple minutes left here real quick. We got to hit the Rand Paul Festivus.
Oh.
Okay, every year Rand
this?
Paul releases a list of grievances, but really it's budgetary grievances.
Oh.
And he goes through and he just kind of zoomed in on about $4.5 billion of just awful spending.
Yeah.
Kind of egregious uses of our taxpayer dollars,
Yeah.
And the reason, I think one of the reasons why it's important to go through this is because we're so desensitized to how Congress spends money, and even our state of Idaho spends money. We know we give them billions and trillions of dollars in taxes, and we just get so desensitized to how they're spending the money.
Well, the budget last year, I think we spent $6.2 trillion.
Yeah, because we printed some of that.
4.9.
Yep.
So
we had $2 trillion in debt alone last year. All right, so I'm just going to go through a couple here. And again, desensitize yourself to the budgets in your state. Desensitize yourself to the budgets going on in Congress because this is insane. So Congress spent, this is some of the line items that Rand Paul points out. Congress spent $28 million in camouflage uniforms that do not fit the Afghan environment. DOD did this. So DOD bought a bunch of camouflage uniforms to send over to Afghan, and it was the wrong kind of camouflage for that environment.
Remember how the argument is, hey, military runs great. Don't we want everything run by the military since the government told them?
No, thank you.
It's okay.
Congress spent $1.7 billion maintaining 77,000 empty federal buildings.
What?
Empty 77,000 empty federal buildings.
But hold on, they're going to fill those with IRS agents. Just wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Maintaining them for that.
Congress, I got to even clip for this one. This is great. Congress spent $3 million, gave it to the NIH. This is the NIH, our favorite NIH.
That's not enough.
Watching hamsters fight on steroids.
Oh, great. How much?
That is $3 million studying hamsters fight on steroids. Kind of like this,
What? So you know what? The way that scares me because what are they trying to do here? What are they like? The way that they think about people and human beings. I don't like this at all.
No. Congress spent $2.3 million injecting 6-month-old beagle puppies with cocaine. That's another NIH study.
Hold on now.
$3.3 million.
Guys, I think we're in the wrong industry.
We need to go into scientific research.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Cross politics, whatever that is. Okay, two more, and then we're out. Congress spent $500,000 plus using mice to study racial aggression.
That's offensive. That's really.
You put like black mice and white mice. What do you do?
That's really.
You give them brass knuckles or something and be like, hey.
That's going to at least be a 300-400 year process, though, right?
Yeah.
Just
Slave, one guy, they got to start enslaving each other and all this stuff.
Million years.
The
Millions.
last
Takes
one, and
millions
you
of
got to
years.
hang around for our interview coming up. The last one is Congress spent over $100,000, about $120,000, researching if Thanos could snap his fingers wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. National Science Foundation.
No.
Yes, that's serious.
No.
That's serious.
Hold on,
Line item.
That's a joke.
No, it is not a joke. This is not a joke.
Gabe, it's got to be.
This is not a Babylon Bee article. This is not a
Gabe,
joke.
Like
you
you're
know
talking
what?
about, like from the.
This is National Science Foundation.
No. Time
Thanos.
out. Time out. You know
With
what?
the gauntlet on.
We got to know. I want one of our producers to find the company, whoever this is, and call and
Hey.
ask them if that really happened. Haley, it's your job.
How much money was spent on
Yeah,
that?
how much? Yeah.
$120,000.
Okay. In the scheme of things, you're kind of like, I wish. Okay, but Haley, that's your job.
National
we
Science
gotta know.
Foundation.
We gotta know if that really happened. Because I
Tell
don't.
us Gabe is wrong.
Yeah, I don't believe it
I
actually.
ain't wrong.
happened.
This is Rand Paul's Festivus Report.
Well, all right. Kevin McGary is
Yeah.
up next.
Every Black Lives Matters.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say
Okay,
every
all right.
Black Lives
All
Matter.
right.
You go find out if that's true. Let me
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
Every Black Lives. Now I can't even say it. He's coming up next on Cross Politics to talk about every Black Lives Matters.
Yeah.
Next.
Putting off writing that proposal again? Yeah, we've been there. Proposal writing can be tough. It takes work, and if you're not careful, you can set up your company for failure. Well, that's where we come in. Smart Pricing Table is an innovative application that focuses on, well, the pricing table. Instead of a static document and constant back and forth, our platform creates interactive proposals that empower your prospects. Not sure if something is needed? Make it optional. Have complicated services that vary? Let your customer do the work with line item upsells. Have reoccurring services? Easy peasy. With Smart Pricing Table, you can create attractive proposals quickly. And our system is built for reuse, so you can get out of that hamster wheel. Give your customers choice and close deals quickly with Smart Pricing Table.
I'm telling you, that was the National Science Foundation.
Not until our producer.
We need to get that
confirms it.
recording.
I want our producer to
I want that
confirm
recording.
it.
All right.
Yep.
All
Then
right.
we can see if it's real.
Okay.
Welcome back to Cross Politics. They've been arguing about that the
I don't think it's real.
entire break.
It's not real.
Dime Payments is a Christian-owned processing payment business. Every
right.
business needs a payment process system. So go to dimepayments.com/FLF and sign your business up. Working with them actually supports us. They won't cancel you like Stripe canceled President Trump. They won't cancel you like MailChimp canceled the Babylon Bee. Check them out. At least have a phone call. Tell them that Cross Politics sent you. Go to dimepayments.com/FLF. We're very grateful to have with us on the show today Mr. Kevin McGary. He's an entrepreneur and author of brand new book, Woked Up, and public speaker. Kevin serves as co-founder of Every Black Life Matters, EBLM, and also as chairman of the Frederick Douglass Foundation of California.
Where's your painting?
It's
where's
at
your
home
painting?
hanging up in my library.
Kevin,
Oh.
thanks for joining us on Cross Politic.
Good to be here, guys. It's a real honor and privilege for me. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, I want to ask you about your book, but just really quickly, when are we going to start seeing EBLM on the back of those football helmets?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, I tell you what, we have so much wokeness, in the NFL and all the major sports. I still, as of last week, saw Black Lives Matter on the back of these helmets, on a few of these helmets. So
Right.
I don't know when that's going to be, realistically, because we're a righteous and faithful alternative to BLM. We are pro-American, pro-business, free markets and capitalism, pro-family,
Yep.
and pro-life from conception to the grave.
Wow.
So those are the things that don't really resonate with wokeness.
So you don't have like 3 or 4, $5.5 billion houses somewhere around in California somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, I wish, kind of like that.
So,
So we're still looking for corporate engagements.
okay.
We're looking for that, but it's fine. We'll be patient. We have enough donors and supporters who pray for us and all of that throughout the United States, and so that's keeping us going.
So tell us about your book, Woked Up. Woked Up. What is that about? Why'd you write it?
Yeah, so the book is Woked Up. The subtitle is Finally Putting an Axe to the Taproot of white supremacy and racism in America.
Okay.
And so a lot of folks would say, well, I mean, come on, Kev, there is no real white supremacy and there is no systemic racism. I know that's what a lot of us would love to believe, but yes, there is. And so what I decided to do was, fundamentally, I saw that there were a lot of wokesters that were pointing at people like us and calling us white Christian nationalists, white supremacists. And yes, I get called white supremacist.
I can tell.
Is it because you're married?
and privilege and all these other, pejoratives, right?
Right.
And so I decided, okay, well, why don't I at least do the homework and figure out what these folks are talking about to see if it really has credence or not. So I actually did the homework and did the research, went and decided to start with Karl Marx because everybody knows that wokeism is rooted in Marxism. Mm-hmm. So I decided to start with Karl Marx, but then that little, still small voice from the inside said, no. Marx had a mentor. Marx, actually, a lot of his thoughts and ideas came from somebody who mentored him into thinking that way. You start with that person. And that person, actually, guys, is Charles Robert Darwin.
Yeah.
So if you go to Darwin's work, you take a look at his first book. I didn't know this. I mean, I just did the research and I said, wow, this is kind of, crazy mm-hmm. that in his first book, it was on natural selection, but the subtitle was For the Preservation of Most Favored Races. And I'm mm-hmm. thinking, wow, Darwin said that, huh? Mm-hmm. So I went through that. And then his second book, he doubles down. He goes all in his second book, The Descent of Man. And he fully characterizes white supremacy and racism. This is how he did it. He says, look, because we know that there is no God and, we all evolve at different rates, the whites are supreme. We fully evolved. We're white, European, Caucasian, et cetera. We're fully mm-hmm. evolved. We have most intellect and resourcefulness compared to any other ethnicity. He says, on the other hand, you could take a look at my evolutionary theories and at work by looking at blacks. There are because blacks are still trying to climb the evolutionary scale. They are subhuman, gorillas, apes, and savages. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So imagine this now: all school boards, all academics across the United States, K through 16, are teaching this guy.
Yeah. That's right.
And they're berating us as concerned parents about them, taking out Huck Finn and Dr. Seuss and wanting to get rid of statues and change the name of schools. They changed the name in Detroit from Dr. Ben to some other character just last week. So they're doing all of that because they want to insulate our children from white supremacy and racism mm-hmm. while they're fully embracing the white supremacy and racism of Darwin.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's inescapable, folks. So this is not something. So here in this book, everything is footnoted, private letters, everything. So you could go to the exact quote, see where it is, mm-hmm. and you could help your friends, family, and school boards really awaken that, look, if you embrace anything Darwin based on your standards, because you're the ones that wanted to cancel people. Mm-hmm. So based on your standards for canceling people,
right.
if you embrace any of Darwin, you are actually instantiating white supremacy and racism into our child's minds.
Wow.
Now, we as concerned parents are going to give you 30 days. We'll come back and we expect you to tell us how you're going to get Darwin out of all curriculum.
Man,
that's the goal.
So tell me something. How is it that if that's the case, if all this is foundationally built on racism, why is it that a large majority of Black culture has bit off into wokeism?
Well, see, that's the problem. So a lot of wokeism has a momentum onto itself, right? Culture tends to grip and sweep us into its current, right? So a lot of people haven't done the research. They just know that, hey, it's cool to be woke. So I'm going to I'll go ahead and tell people, self-identify as being woke, right? They have no idea what that means. Most wokesters don't know that. They're just into culture, right? And so, but the masterminds at the top know what Darwin said. They know that Marx fully, embraced all of Darwin's theories. He dedicated all of his first works. He and Engels, their first works, were dedicated to Darwin. And so they know that Marx was a horrible racist, a sexist, a misogynist, He's just a horrible person.
He was for the people. He was for the people.
Yeah. So the bottom line is these masterminds know, but they're trying to keep this veneer of acceptability with both Darwin and Marx because it's part of their Luciferian ways that they have a tendency to embrace. So what we want to do is we want to break that grip that wokeism and culture has on our children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and children in the community. Yeah. We want to give them real perspective. The only way to do that is you have to go to the source. You have to get the footnotes of what the actual quotes of what they were saying and doing, and how all this stuff came about. And reading the book will go a long way to help you to do that. So,
Kevin, don't you think a little bit you're playing into their hands? We start these organizations like Black Lives Matter, and then Kanye responds with all white lives matter, and then now we got all Black Lives Matter. We kind of going back and forth with this kind of category that is only maybe exacerbating the situation and saying instead of, hey, we're made in the image of God, stop it. you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm glad you're asking that question because here's the bottom line: every Black life matters. Actually means it's much more profound than just you're taking it off face value.
Yeah.
Literally, what we're saying is all lives matter. Mm-hmm. What we're saying is every life matters. Now, the way that we're saying that is, look, when Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, decided to say her infamous quote was, "Look, we don't want the word to get out, but we want to fully exterminate the Negro population."
Yep.
Right? So she didn't say Negro and Hispanic, Negro and Asian, Negro and no. She said Blacks. We want to exterminate Blacks.
Right.
So when we say every Black life matters, what we're essentially saying is, look, let's stop targeting the Black community and Black babies, right? See, what happens is Blacks are being born at this rate and other ethnicities are being born at this rate because of Planned Parenthood and the scheme to exterminate all Blacks. Mm-hmm. It's still going on to this very day, where 90% of all Planned Parenthood is within walking distance of Black and urban communities. Okay. Mm-hmm. So fundamentally what we're saying is we're not trying to be a Me Too like BLM, except just the exact opposite. What we're trying to do is to fully illuminate that literally all lives matter. Mm-hmm. So why do we put up with then the targeting of the Black community to the extent that we have? Why isn't everybody going into Planned Parenthood saying, look, this is unacceptable. You guys are white supremacists and you're racist, period, hard stop, end of story. And you must take these abortuaries out of the Black community because all lives matter. Mm-hmm. Every life matters. Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's why we have that statement. So yes, we are a righteous and faithful alternative to BLM, but the every Black life matters it's a little bit deeper than what you may think.
Mm-hmm. So you're chairman of the Frederick Douglass Foundation of California. Yes. If you dropped Douglass into today's Black culture right now, how do you think he would respond, and what would be his first focus?
Great question. Here's the answer. We saw how Douglass would respond in the late 1800s when Marx was doing his thing.
Right.
And Douglass thoroughly rejected Marx. He said, no, man, get out of here with that. He said, look, we want the American dream. We want the ability to create our own way. We don't need your, communistic Marxist kind of ideology or ideology that's really going to create this vacuum or this void within our community and our ability to actually see ourselves in a dignified, working, resourceful way. So Douglass would absolutely reject the woke movement today.
Yeah.
Because he did back then when Marx was alive. They were both alive at the same time. And so I've been asked that several times. As a matter of fact, I do a presentation and I juxtapose Marx and Douglass. And it's really fascinating. Completely different.
I think I actually like that word, ideology.
Yeah, I know. I never said it. I was
I'm going with it. I'm going with it.
I made it up, baby. If you say it from now on, you got to give me some credit.
I'm going to give you credit every time. Like Kevin McGary says.
So, Kevin, I want to go back to the second half of that question, though. So you got the rejection of Marx, but then what are the things that you do to rebuild the people that have had the repercussions of marinating in that kind of world?
Really what, so, okay. So the way that so it sounds like you're asking, how do we really combat Marxism? Is that what you're asking?
Well, yes, it's part of it. But if, I think there's a defensive, like, okay, first we reject Marx. We got to plug the hole, right? But then you have the effects of Marx throughout black culture for the last, what 50 years or more? Since the 40s?
Everywhere.
Okay. Everywhere. But particularly it's been saturated in black culture, right?
Yeah.
So what if Frederick Douglass had to look, okay, now I plugged the hole. Now I'm going to focus on developing and getting black culture back to where it needs to be before it start being tampered with by white liberals. What does he do?
Really, I think the first things that we must do, if we're sincere about ending generational poverty and ending high crime rates, the social anthropologists have already done the homework for us. And they said, look, number one, you must encourage fathers to remain connected to their children. Now, with the hookup culture, we know that men have multiple children all over the place, right? So it's not realistic to say, hey, all these men could just go and have a nuclear family, because you have so many of these kids with different mamas. Okay, so let's not even think about that. But if you remain connected to your children, it has a profound effect on their ability to actually be resourceful and live a dignified life. But the number two thing that they said is, look, if you have school choice programs, it really accelerates then. Both of those components will decrease poverty and crime by up to 70%. So Douglass would push for those things that we know, it's been studied. But the leftist, progressive, Democrat mindsets need a class of dependence. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to allow this to happen, right? Mm. And this is why they push so forcefully against any school choice programs. Because they know that will unleash now innovators, entrepreneurs, all kinds of people that are not dependent on poverty systems anymore, but dependent on what their skills, talents, and abilities that God gave them. Yeah. So Douglass would advocate for both fathers remaining connected to children and school choice programs.
Kevin, what's the website people can go to, and where can they find your book at?
Okay, go to the website, everyblm.com, everyblm.com, okay? And from there, you can get connected to us and learn about all of the other things that we're doing. We have racial sensitivity training that competes against the Marxist, crazy ideological training.
I like this.
That we offer. And then you can get the book at amazon.com. You can go to Amazon, just type in Woked Up, WOKED up. And you'll see the book there, and you can get it in a couple of days. And so those are two ways you can connect with us. But go to our website first, find out more about what we're up to and who we are, and then join the Truth Squad, man.
Yeah. you got 10 minutes to hang around? You got 10 more minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Cool. All right. If you're single, get married. If you're married, have you some kids. And if you have kids, go baptize them. Until tomorrow, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Cross Politics.
School choice, the left don't like, but you can have gender choice.
Oh yeah, they like gender choice.
Gender choice.
Don't forget Steve Dace tomorrow. It's gonna go down.
Mom always told me to be a good boy. But the world said I could be anything I wanted to be, which is great, because I want to be a problem. No, I won't dive into sex, drugs, or gender confusion. To the world, that would make me a good little boy. I will learn formal logic and adhere firmly to the concept of objective truth. I will commit myself absolutely to the authority of the Word of God and make friends with Augustine, Luther, Calvin, Chesterton, Lewis, and the U.S. Constitution. I hope to grow up and love only one woman, a woman at least as clear-thinking and rebellious in this world as I will be, who knows where true beauty lies and who will never let me stop striving to be the biggest problem I can be. I will give my life for hers and aim to have a family large enough to require specialty automobiles. We will worship in a church unashamed of the gospel and live in a community of families doing the same. I will work myself to the bone providing for my family, and I will make sure my kids all fall in love with Narnia and Middle-earth, that they will all know how to think, that evolution will make them giggle, and rainbows will make them think of Noah and his arky-arky. Like I said, I will be a problem, immune to all that is hip and trendy and now. Singing songs that are centuries old, savoring good wine and great whiskey, dancing and laughing and feasting while the enemies of God scowl and glower in shelter in place. Hey little boy, the world says, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a metastasizing cancer of conservative Christian culture, devouring Marx's impotent progressive dream and building a resurrected Western world. I want to be a stomper of stupid sandcastles, an exposer of poisonous lies. I want my life to be a monument to the triune creator God who made us all. The kind of monument you and yours will never be able to tear down. Oh, and a fireman. Thanks for asking. New St. Andrews College. Liberal arts for outlaws.